Overpass is back in the map pool, and for some of you this could be the first time that you're playing it, so I'd like to give you a little bit of a guide today and show you all of the must-know nades that you're going to need if you're going to be playing this map in your Premiere or Face It games. So I won't waste any more time and we'll get right to it right after a quick word from SkinsMonkey. Today's video is sponsored by SkinsMonkey. Now if you're not familiar with SkinsMonkey, this is a trade site that allows you to take some of the old and crusty skins out of your inventory and you can actually trade them in for something a little bit new, a little bit shinier than what you have right now. And it's really easy to do this actually. All you need to do is log in through Steam, pick the skins that you don't want to use anymore, grab the ones that you do, and then click trade. All trades will pretty much happen immediately, and any balance that you don't use in your trade actually stays on the site for you to use for any future trades that you decide to do. And right now, if you use the link in the description, you can actually get a 35% deposit bonus, and that's good for up to $100. So let's say you deposit $100, you would actually get $135 on the site if you use my link. So make sure you check out SkinsMonkey, and let's hop right back into the video. Now, Overpass is a very unique map for both sides because you have a lot of nades that you throw at the beginning of the round for T and for CT. Now I want to make this video very easy, so I'm going to show all of the nades that you need to take a site, and then after that I'll show the map control taking nades that you might need for the advanced players later on. So starting with the A exec, I want to show you how to smoke off dumpster and bank, and it's really easy. There's two ways to throw this dumpster smoke, and the first one is just by jumping up on top of the bench and making sure you're lined up in the middle. After that, you're going to look for this light and find the gray square and just aim on the left and then left click throw. That smoke is going to land comfortably to smoke off dumpster. Now if you want to smoke off bank to combine with that, there's a really easy lineup as well where you just line up right behind your teammate in the middle of this wall. Then you're going to look for this white stain here and then just aim to the right of it and then jump throw. That'll also give you a bank smoke. Now if you are a solo queue player and you want to throw an exec for your teammate, you can actually have a teammate drop you a smoke here, so that way you can throw dumpster and bank from the same spot. So what you would do is you would throw the bank smoke just like I showed you, and then after that you would pick up a smoke from your teammate and find this line, aim to the left to where it hits divider, and then jump throw, and that'll smoke off dumpster as well. So you could throw both if you are in a solo game, or you could just have somebody throw the other one and you can throw bank. Overall, both of them are very strong. After that, I have two mollies that I think are very important, which one is a truck molly and then one is a back dice molly. And what we'll do is I'll show you the truck molly because it's from the same spot that we just threw this set from. After you throw the smokes, you would pick your molly and aim in the middle of this pillar here and then tap W jump throw. That would give you a molly that will completely molly off the backside of this truck, just not this cubby. Then the dice molly, it could be somebody smoking dumpster here. He throws this and then he jumps down, and once he lines up in the middle of this divider, he sees this line and then he tap W jump throws, and that's going to give you a back dice molly. And all of this combined will give you a really strong A execute, but you still need the flashes. So let me show you the best flashes. In my opinion, all of the pros are throwing these flashes here where they line up and then jump throw, one like this and then one like this. The first flash will blind your teammates if they peek too early, but the second one will not, and it should blind everybody on site. Nobody that's playing A will be having fun, and that's because you watched this video. So before we continue, make sure you guys subscribe. But let's say you're coming from long, I also have some nades from long that you can throw, and it's really easy. You'll line up on the right side of this closest pillar to long, and to smoke off dumpster, we're just going to go up 1, 2 on the lines here and then jump throw. That'll be your dumpster smoke. If you have an extra smoke from a teammate, you can then pick it up and then find where this ball meets the wall and then left click throw. You can remember because it rhymes, and that'll smoke off bank. And if you want a molly truck, you can just aim at the bottom left here and then take a walking jump throw, and that will molly off truck. So you can throw these nades from long as well if you need to, or maybe somebody from a bathroom says I have dumpster, you can still smoke bank or vice versa, and you can also throw the mollies. And again, you know that because you watched Austin CS. Now moving on to B, there's not as many clear-cut nades to throw because it's not as obvious as A site, but we're going to show you how to smoke off mid site as well as how to smoke off heaven, and both of these smokes are very strong in their own right. Starting with the mid site smoke, it's going to be from outside of monster in towards T spawn. You'll line up on the back of this barrel, aim at the top of this line here, and then left click throw, and that will smoke off mid site for you just like we talked about. And again, this smoke is very strong because it allows allows you to come out of monster without worrying about some of these really annoying lines that would be there if you didn't have it. Then I can show you how to smoke heaven. It is in from short though. You'll have to make sure that you get here, and I'll show you a molly to make sure you get it in a second, so don't skip. But if you want to smoke off heaven, you'll just get on the back of this wood here, and then you'll find the bottom of this fence just like this, and then jump though. The easiest heaven smoke in the game in my opinion, and that will land to comfortably smoke it off. Now for mollies, the only molly that I really want to share with you is a way to molly barrel, and I'll show you how to do it from outside monster as well as in short. So from outside monster, you're just going to line up on this back wall. It's a very loose lineup. Once you're on the back wall, you're going to find this green guy's fingernail, and then you will run and jump though after a step, and that molly will land in towards barrel. And if you want to molly it from short, you can do it from the same spot that we smoked heaven. So let's say we smoked off heaven, then we're going to grab our molly, and we're going to find this screw on the wall here, and then just jump throw, and that molly of course will also land in towards barrel. And this one spreads out a little more, so it'll tick people as they're running out as well. Both of these mollies are very strong. Now for flashes, there's a lot of flashes that you can throw, but you can never go wrong with flashes over the right side of monster, because these flashes shouldn't blind your teammate if they're coming out to fight towards sight. And if you are a little bit more calculated, you can even throw flashes that will land behind the big pillar, because these flashes shouldn't blind your teammates either, and they'll blind people that are deeper into the site. You'll have to play with your own flashes, because a lot of these aren't as set as the ones at A, but in general they are still really strong. Now I want to show you the way that you take this map control, starting with the short molly. Out of T spawn, you're going to run up and find the bottom of this B here. Then once you find it, you're going to look over towards B, find the right side of this B, then you're going to middle click, again that's holding both buttons, and we're going to run and jump throw whenever the bottom of our screen hits this shadow like that. So again, if you put it all together, it'll look like this, and you can throw this at the beginning of rounds to stop the CTs from getting into short, so that way you can throw your execute that you might want to be throwing. And then if we're going towards A, the only thing that is really must know for you is the bathroom smoke, because it makes it very uncomfortable for the CTs that are playing in towards A, because they lose a lot of the lines that they are very comfortable holding. And to smoke off bathrooms, we'll just do it out of T spawn. So while your teammate's doing the short molly, you're going to crouch right here, and this will be an easy lineup. While crouched, you find this dot and then jump throw, and this is going to be a very easy bathroom smoke that you can throw, and you can throw it every round if you want. I don't know if I would necessarily recommend that, but it is really strong, especially if you're playing with some pace. So with all the T nades covered, we can move on to all of the CT nades that you're going to need to know, starting with a monster smoke. Now this will be thrown out of spawn by somebody that's going to be playing as the third B player, and you're going to get into this corner right here by the dumpster, and then once you find the bottom of this power line like so, you're just going to give it a jump throw. This is a very easy smoke, and it's very important that you throw this at the beginning of every single round, because it allows your monster player to either flash for himself or have a teammate flash, and then make sure that nobody is rushing you. While we're on the topic of must throw utility, we also have the short molly for the person who's going to be responsible for short on this map. Now this molly is very important, and it's also very easy. So let me show you the way that the pros throw it first, and then I'll show you a noob friendly way. So the pros are going to throw it like this. They're going to be right left click throwing at the corner of this building as they're coming through the door. I know that sounds very complicated, but I'll break it down slower. So we're just going to be coming around this corner, aiming around where the top of the building will be, and then as soon as we get through the door, we're holding right and left click, and we're just letting go while running, and that's going to land in short, and it's going to be a really consistent molly. Again, that's how all the pros throw it. It's very easy. But if you need an easier way to throw it, a more noob friendly way, you can just get into this corner right here and look for the bottom right of this window right here, and then just left click throw, and that will also give you a nice short molly. But it is important to throw this no matter what, because it allows the short player to contest getting into here, and there's a lot of cubbies that you can hide in, as well as just fighting in towards connector with your teammate could be very strong. Moving on to the A player utility, we have a smoke and a molly that are must throw at the beginning of the round, and the smoke is going to land here. That's going to make it uncomfortable for the T's that are coming towards fountain, because they have to come through it, and if you're fighting, they're not going to be having fun, or they have to come on the right side here where they're very weak to flash pushes. And then the molly will land at the entrance of playground. It'll make it hard for the T's that want to go safely through playground and have this entire area to hide as they're running up. So let me show you how to throw both of them, starting with the smoke. What you're going to do is at the beginning of the round, you're going to get onto this corner of the wall here. It's a little bit hard to get exactly, but don't worry, it doesn't need to be exact. But once you're in this area, you're going to find the middle of this light pole here, and then you're just going to jump throw. That's going to give you the smoke, and we already showed where that landed. And then you can follow it up with a Molotov. As soon as you hit the flat ground here at divider, you're going to look to the left of this stain until you can see that you're in the middle of this building and this AC unit. So I know it's kind of complicated, but you can see here, once we have our crosshair like this, we're going to run and then jump throw after we hit the second divider. So all of that is a real mouthful, but if you do it, it'll look like this. And what's going to happen is the molly is going to land at the entrance of playground, and combined with that smoke that I showed you earlier, it's going to make your A defense extremely easy. So you should make sure that you practice both of these in the server. And that's going to wrap up all of the must-know utility that you need to know in under 10 minutes. And I think that might be worth a sub if you watched this far. But if not, at least like the video, share to your friends, and hopefully I'll see you guys very, very soon.